Hello, my name is Mr. Bogdan, and I am a high school math teacher and also a chess coach. I've been working at Argo High School for the past 5 years. In this video, I want to go over some of the basics of chess, and for our first lesson, I'm going to go over what are the name of the pieces and how do the pieces move. In the corners, you have the rooks. Each player has two rooks, white and black. Then next to them you have the knights, which look like horses, but in chess they're called knights. Um, then next to them you have a bishop. This is a dark square bishop, which you can see it's on a dark square. And there's a light square bishop, which is on a light square. Same thing for black. There's a light square bishop and a dark square bishop. Next to it you have the queen and then the kings. This is the pieces on the back rank. Now, each player also has on top a rank of pawns. So each of these pieces are called pawns. So those are all the pieces in chess. And here's a quick review of the pieces we just went over. Again, the king, the queen, the rook, the bishop, the knight, and the pawns. Okay, so let's go over how do the pieces move. And let's start with the king. The king moves one square in pretty much any direction. So if I have a king sitting here, it could go into any of these directions highlighted by the green square. Now let's take a look at the rook. The rook moves horizontally and vertically. So you could see here highlighted by the green lines again. It also attacks on the green lines. So if you have the rook sitting here, it's gonna attack vertically and horizontally. Anything that will be in its way it's gonna be able to be captured. So right here, because this black pawn is in the path of the rook could go and capture it. Okay, so now let's take a look at the bishop. Each player has two bishops, a dark square and a light square bishop. The bishop, they attack diagonally. So you could see here with the red squares, it attacks diagonally. The next chess piece that we're going to look at is the queen. Um, the queen, just like the king, can attack and move in any direction, but it's not limited like the king, because the king just could move to one square. The queen could actually move to the end of the board in any direction. So if I have a queen sitting in the center here, the queen could move like a rook horizontally and vertically, also like a bishop diagonally, like you saw here. So it could cover all of these squares. So you could see the power of this piece. The next chess piece that we're going to look at is the knight. The knight moves in a kind of funny way. If you have a knight positioned right here, it's going to be able to attack the square in an L shape. So it could go down two and one right and right one. Um, if you have a black knight situated right here, it could move to any of these red squares. Um, Again, the knight could move in an L shape, um, but it could go in all of the directions. For example, uh, it could go up two and then to the right one, up two to the left one. Or if you go horizontally two squares, then it could go up or down. If you go down two squares, then it could go left or right. Uh, or if you go to the right, it could go up and down. The last chess piece that um, we're gonna go over is the pawn. Now the pawn is a piece that it's a little bit different than all of the other pieces in the sense that it does not attack in the same direction as it moves. So the pawn moves one square out, but it attacks diagonally. Now, if the pawn never moved, then it has the option to either move to e3 one square or to e4 two squares. After that, it could only move up 1 square. Despite being small, each pawn has enormous potential. The pawn's greatest power is called promotion. Anytime a pawn successfully journeys to the end of the board, it can transform into any other chess piece on the board, except the king. Um, Again, queen, rook, knight, or bishop. Now, this concludes all of our chess pieces and how they move, and it will be the end of lesson 1. Thank you and have a good day.